In 1959, a small girl, a recluse called Lucinda, is with voices whispering around her. Their teacher, Miss Taylor, comes to call. Next, the teacher is in front of the class. She reminds the school celebrates its opening with a competition, in which students draw a picture of what different things, except for Lucinda Embry, who is guided by whispering voices. The allotted time for the task expires, and Miss Taylor collects the students later. The next day, on the opening of William Dawes Elementary School, 50 years from now, their descendants will dig this time capsule up from where she was. The staffs begin calling her name, looking for behind a door. On opening the door, she finds frightened Lucinda with blood. This is the remaining numbers that she hasn't finished writing the day before. Fast forward to 50 years later, the movie's present to control his depression after losing his wife. He has trouble believing that there's a son, Caleb, who also struggles to move on. Unveiling of the 50-year-old legacy, the time capsule, that was buried 50 years ago, to do the honors. The capsule is opened and the children each receive to find numbers on the paper instead of drawing like everyone else. While staring, they're standing far away from the school, but it's gone when he checks again. While talking, his dad notices the paper from the school and queries him about it. He starts to get curious about the list of numbers himself. He puts a set of numbers on a whiteboard and he quickly realizes that the towers in New York City which killed 2,996 people. He puts all the numbers on the whiteboard and investigates further. And lives lost at specific tragic events such as explosions, crashes in the order that they would have happened since 1959. He uses red circled numbers that he can't quite figure out what they mean. So the next day, he explains that every set of numbers matches a major disaster in date and his wife died was also there. John tells him there are 3 sets of numbers that Phil refuses to believe because it's too crazy to be true, and paper that apparently has no meaning. He suspects that someone may be playing a joke to Miss Taylor, who was Lucinda's school teacher back in 1959, letter. Miss Taylor confirms that this is the original, and tells John about the surrounding it. John expresses his desire to meet Lucinda, but at home while trying to get some contacts over the phone, he sees a couple of strange men give Caleb a rock without actually saying anything to him, which of course inside the house. While searching through the net about Lucinda's death, because he hasn't talked to his father for a very long time. But he refuses, extremely religious, and John is an atheist. The next day, on his route but no alternative route. Looking at the coordinates on his GPS, are in fact coordinates of all the locations where the tragedies will happen, and it's blocked. While talking to the police, the prediction happened, an error. He goes back home while still having trouble believing what just happened. 81 people have died. At night, a strange man walks into the thing being destroyed, while the animals are running for their lives. Caleb sees a strange man through the window while holding him up, and runs out looking for him and her daughter to the museum. At the museum, he meets the woman and the intern later explains to her that he followed her to ask about her mother. Diana had come true and only 2 remaining, and the last one will happen 3 days later. However, Diana leaves with her daughter Abby, saying she cannot act. John searches the location of the next disaster using the GPS to warn the police. John goes all the way to the subway station, and them. They discover that the guy is just a petty CD thief. As everyone tries to escape. The train kills a lot of people, fitting the dawn coming out of the debris, and the police and fire department trying to help. She proceeds to tell John that the last disaster left on the list is on. Diana didn't want to talk with him about it in the first place because she hated the idea of former home, an old abandoned building where her mother used to hide from everyone around, which followed the date October 19th, weren't the numbers 33, but at the house, John searches Lucinda's bedroom, where they found out that those black stones in the house, like the one Caleb received. Outside to hear whispers and see those strange figures. The whispers call on them to call attention. John and Diana run to them, but the strangers were gone. Up to the man, he asks what he wants, but the man opens his mouth, and Hughes, and can't believe Lucinda predicted the death of everyone tomorrow, and this could be Abby's drawing. Suddenly, he realizes that the final disaster, which is tomorrow, was in tandem with a research he had done about super flares from the quickly goes to the observatory and checks on the recent readings of the sun. Which flare may occur very soon, and that may be the cause of humanity's destruction, where Diana used to play as a child. It's time to go. He goes. From what Caleb was writing, he gets the sense that Lucinda's writing on the ghoul. He removes the particular door, takes it home, and begins to. Doom comes, so she steals the kids and drives to the caves. John survived this disaster, but when he comes out, everyone is gone, which prompts at the station, she watches the government announce that there's trouble coming and everyone to tell him where they are. John tells her that the safe haven might be at Lucinda's While still on the phone, the strangers steal her car with the kids inside. She breaks her neck, and later dies in front of John, at exact to Lucinda's abandoned home, and follows a car-ridden path into the bush. The strange man and threatens to shoot. Caleb stops him and tells his father to be saved. It turns out that they were the ones who sent the messages about. They then reveal an ark up in the sky. John is astonished. Only the chosen must go. Caleb cries. Caleb! And the ark leaves. Up in the sky, John wakes up in the morning on that ground. He navigates the now and he tells her, Caleb is safe. He enters the house and hugs his father, starts to destroy everything, and takes them two in their group hug. Caleb and Abby run through the field towards a huge tree.